The $70 million jet cut through the night sky, its engines a steady hum as it carried Elon Musk, May, Jolie, Clara, and Evelyn south from Great Bear Lake, 1,200 miles northeast of Palo Alto. The cabin glowed faintly with the combined light of the Starlight engine prototype, the small heart core from the Alaskan Valley, and the newly retrieved spark, a jagged, crystalline shard that pulsed with a fierce, golden hue. The three pieces rested in a secure case on the table, their signals merging into a single, radiant beam that pierced the jet's ceiling, detected by Lucia's team 2,000 miles south at SpaceX. The air inside was warm, a steady 60 degrees Fahrenheit, a stark contrast to the 38-degree chill of the Canadian tundra they'd just left behind. Elon leaned over the case, his sharp eyes tracing the spark's edges, his Tesla jacket slung over a chair. "It's complete," he said, his voice low but alive with wonder. "Core, heart, spark, Joshua's vision, whole again." He pressed a finger to the shard, and the beam flared, a pulse of energy rippling through the cabin, syncing with the hum in the speakers. May sat across from him, her silver hair catching the light, the cracked leather journal open in her lap. Her hands, once trembling with the weight of 54 years of misunderstanding, now rested steady, her eyes soft with a peace she hadn't known since Joshua's death. "He did it for us," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "This isn't just tech, it's his love, his hope." Clara, her wrists still marked from Victor's ropes, grinned despite the exhaustion etched into her face. She twirled her wrench, a habit now, and nodded at the case. "3 pieces, 3 fights. We're damn good at this scavenger hunt thing." Evelyn, her white hair stark against the cabin's dimness, sat beside her, her rifle propped against the seat. Her weathered face softened as she looked at the spark. "Joshua always said it'd find the right hands," she murmured. "Took 54 years, but here we are." Jolie, the 85-year-old nanny who'd once scraped by on $8 an hour, leaned against the cabin wall, her frail frame dwarfed by the moment but her spirit towering. Her trembling hands clutched the edge of the table, her eyes reflecting the starlight's glow. "The shepherd found his flock," she said, her Spanish lilt a quiet song. "The star burned brightest when we stood together." That's what Joshua wanted. The jet had landed briefly at Great Bear Lake hours earlier, the tundra there scarred by a 1971 meteor strike, a crater where the spark had lain buried, its golden light pulsing beneath the ice. Pete Grayson's coalition remnants had ambushed them, his pistol flashing in the night, but the Corps' combined power had turned the tide. The beam had flared, scattering his men, and Pete had fled into the storm, his curses lost to the wind. Victor's absence had left him rattled, a lone wolf without a pack, but his final shout, "The Master's watching," had lingered like a threat. Now, as the jet neared Palo Alto, the group carried more than the engine's pieces. They carried forgiveness, May's for Joshua, Jolie's for the years of silence, Evelyn's for the decades alone. They carried hope, a rekindled dream that spanned generations, from a $5,000 vision in Pretoria to a radiant legacy in their hands. The jet touched down under a 60-degree Fahrenheit night sky, the SpaceX estate's 47 acres unfolding before them, its gardens a tapestry of shadows and starlight. Lucia met them at the hangar, her tablet glowing with data, her eyes wide as she took in the 3 cores. "You did it," she said, her voice tinged with awe. "The signal's off the charts, stable, powerful. What's it do?" Elon lifted the case, its light spilling across the floor. "It's a bridge," he said. "To the stars, to a future Dad saw. We'll figure out the how, together." They moved to the garden, the cores placed on a stone table beneath a canopy of trees. The beam softened, its glow bathing the estate in a gentle radiance, a testament to bonds forged across time. May stood beside Elon, her hand on his shoulder, her tears dry. "He'd be proud," she said. "Not just of the engine, of you." Clara smirked, tossing her wrench onto the grass. "And us. Took a village to pull this off." Evelyn set her rifle down, her gaze distant. "Joshua's spark wasn't just in the crystal," she said. It was in us, waiting to burn. Jolie stepped forward, her frail figure silhouetted against the starlight. She traded her cafe apron for this moment, her $25,000 life of quiet strength now a cornerstone of their triumph. "The story's not over," she said, her voice steady. "The shepherd rests, but the star still shines. There's more to find." Elon nodded, his mind already racing ahead. "The master's out there," he said. "Pete's broken, Victor's gone, but someone's pulling strings. This," he tapped the case. "It's a start, not an end." Lucia's tablet beeped, a new signal crackling through the speakers, a faint, rhythmic pulse, different from the core's hum. "Incoming," she said, swiping at the screen. "It's piggybacking the beam, coordinates again." The group gathered around, the tablet flashing a new location, Alaska, 1,500 miles north, deeper into the tundra than Evelyn's shack. A voice broke through the static, fragile but unmistakable. "Joshua, I kept it, Evelyn." Then, fainter, a second layer, "The body's safe, but the shadow moves." May's breath caught. "She's warning us." Evelyn's face hardened, her hand tightening on her rifle. "The shadow, the master. He's close." Clara frowned, retrieving her wrench. "So we've got the engine, but he's got a play left?" Elon stared at the coordinates, his engineer's mind whirring. "The body's the big piece, Evelyn's got it in Alaska. If the master's moving, he's after it, or something more." Jolie's eyes narrowed, her memory stirring. "The story," she said. "The shepherd faced a shadow too, a thief in the night. The star burned to stop him. Maybe that's what's next." The garden fell silent, the core's glow a steady heartbeat. The estate's trees rustled in the warm breeze, a stark contrast to the cold threat looming 1,500 miles north. Lucia locked the coordinates, her voice tense. "We can be there in 6 hours. But if the master's watching, he'll know." Elon closed the case, its light dimming but its promise alive. "Then we go prepared," he said. "This isn't just Joshua's fight anymore, it's ours." May squeezed his hand, her resolve unshakable. "For forgiveness," she said. "For hope." Jolie stood under the starlit sky, her frail hands steady, her life's quiet strength rekindled. "For the flock," she added, her Spanish tale a thread through their journey. The group returned to the jet, the course secured, the coordinates set. As the engines roared to life, the heart pulsed once more, a signal crackling through the static. "Joshua, I kept it, Evelyn." The voice faded, but the implication hung electric in the air. Was she alive, holding the engine's body, or was this a trap laid by the master? The jet lifted off, streaking north into the night, the 60-degree Fahrenheit warmth of Palo Alto giving way to the 38-degree chill of Alaska's frozen expanse. The stars above burned bright, a guide and a challenge, and the story closed with a question that thrummed through the cabin: what secrets awaited in the tundra, and who, or what, was the master of the starlight, poised to reshape their journey? The core's light held, a testament to a legacy rekindled, not just technology, but a bond forged in sacrifice and hope, ready to face the shadow ahead. The journey of Elon, Jolie, May, Clara, and Evelyn in pursuit of the Starlight engine unveils lessons that strike a chord with us as we reflect on life's path. A central theme is the lasting impact of legacy. Joshua's vision, divided into 3 pieces, shows how our dreams and sacrifices echo through time, touching lives long after we've passed. This reminds us of the worth in our quiet efforts, raising families, sharing tales, or fostering hope in others, even if they go unnoticed in the moment. Jolie's shift from a struggling nanny to a key player reveals resilience, proving our strength doesn't fade with years but grows sharper through what we've endured. Her bravery at 85 shows us it's never too late to rise, reclaim our voice, and influence what's ahead. Forgiveness emerges as another gift, seen in May's piece with Joshua's memory. This nudges us to release old wounds, misunderstandings or losses that linger, and embrace the clarity time brings. The story also honors the ties we share across generations, with children, grandchildren, or even strangers, reigniting our sense of purpose. In everyday life, this could look like passing down wisdom to younger kin, lending a hand in our communities, or simply being present, small gestures that mirror Joshua's starlight. Lastly, hope glows as our guide. Despite the master's shadow, the group pushes forward, showing us that time doesn't dull our ability to dream or strive for more. This calls us to stay active, chasing passions, standing for what matters, or tackling fresh ventures, knowing our light still leads the way. Like Jolie beneath the stars, we can find renewal in each step, proving life's richness deepens with every year we live.